welcome to my channel. I'm Marygrace. Today I'm making keto turkey chili. This chili doesn't need to be made with ground turkey. It can be made with ground beef, ground pork, ground lamb, whatever you fancy. None of those have carbs, so they're all safe. I just happen to have some organic ground turkey from Trader Joe's. And then I also had some organic sweet mini peppers just from Pavilions that I needed to cook. They come like this. There's orange, yellow, and red. So I took 2 of each and I sliced them up. I also used 1 jalapeno from Trader Joe's. It smells pretty spicy, so this chili's gonna have a kick to it. And 1 large white onion. I have my large Dutch oven, and into that I'm going to add some oil. I use a lot of oil with the ground turkey because it's kind of dry compared to ground beef. This is a jar of some oil or grease that I took off the top of a chicken that I made the other day. So I'll start with that. I always save the grease that comes off the top of any food that I make. Once it hardens after it's been cold, I just scrape it off and put it into a mason jar. And it's got so much flavor, so much better than just pouring my regular avocado oil in there. But I'm gonna pour some avocado oil in here too. And into that will go my onions first, and I'll let them cook up for a couple of minutes before I add the peppers. The onion's a little bit more dense, so I like to put that in first. Next I will add my spices. Chili powder. I like to put my spices in the beginning because they get cooked into the bottom of the pan and the aroma comes out of them and makes them more intense. Smoked paprika. Sweet paprika. Oregano. 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's, one of my go-tos, and crushed red chili pepper. It's too heavy on this because I do think that jalapeno has a big kick to it. If you didn't want to cook and chop up all of these peppers, you could buy green chilies canned, or hatched diced green chilies canned, or you could buy jalapenos in a jar. I don't really notice that it makes that big of a difference to do them fresh. All depends on what you're in the mood for. And to this, I will add my garlic. I always talk about this garlic because it's so easy. It comes in little squares and it's frozen, so you always have it in your freezer. You don't have to go out and buy garlic, and you don't have to chop it up. You don't have to smash it in the smasher. And it tastes like garlic. I've bought garlic canned before, and I've bought it in jars. I bought it peeled and just, fresh. Never tastes right. I always taste the preservative, but I never taste the preservative in this. You can't let it thaw out or it won't pop out very well. Smell all the seasonings. It smells amazing. So now it's time to put my garlic in. You don't want to put it in too soon because you don't want to burn it. Burnt garlic doesn't taste very good. I'll put 4 in here. So easy to just stick the top back on and put it back in the freezer. Next, salt and pepper. Fresh ground pepper. And a pretty good amount of salt. I use coarse kosher salt because I can feel it in my hands and I just can know how much I'm putting in. Next, for the meat. This is a pound of turkey, which is probably good for 2 people, but Keith likes his chili really meaty. All of his soups he likes really meaty. He doesn't like them to have a lot of broth in them. So I'm going to use 2 pounds. Turn it down to medium now. My mom always used to say you have to get the veg or the spices, whatever you're putting in there, into the meat. Like you have to get smushed in together. So that's what I just did. My turkey is brown, or about as brown as turkey can get. And now I'm going to add in my tomatoes. I like the San Marzano tomatoes because they're produced in Italy, where their soil is much cleaner than our soil. And I like the whole peeled tomatoes because once they've been chopped up, a lot of times they're mixed with tomato puree, which has a lot of carbs in it. This is a 28-ounce can, and I'll use the whole can. A lot of times I'll take the immersion blender and blend the tomatoes in the can and turn it into a sauce, but today I didn't feel like it. I will add my beans. These are beans that I always talk about. They're called Black Soybeans. They have 8 carbs for half a cup, but 7 of the carbs are fiber. So they have 1 carb for half a cup, which is unheard of. Beans usually have 20 to 30 carbs for half a cup and maybe 3 or 4 grams of fiber. These are the best beans ever, and they look and taste like any other beans. People always think beans are protein, but they're 90% carbs. I always open these, pour them in a strainer, and rinse them off because they have like a jelly on top of them that I don't like. Now for my black soybeans that have been rinsed and drained. There are 2 cans here. You can serve the chili just like this. I like to add a bottle of light beer to it, put the lid on, but prop it up a little bit and let it simmer down. It gives it just a different flavor, but you don't have to do that.
Boom, yum, this is so good.
You want sour cream?
Get some. Thank you. That looks really good.
Chunky.
Yeah.
Meaty.
Happy.
Happy.
Thank you.
Sour cream on it. Welcome.
Oh, your kitchen looks cool.
Get over here.
Okay.
Keith has to leave to go work out, so I gave him his without the beer put in there, but still looks good.
My son-in-law always leaves a Bud Light here. I use it in my chili.
Thanks, Kenny.
I just think it gives it a different flavor. I'm going to turn it all the way up to high, get it boiling. Pour the beer in. Give it a stir.
You having some more?
Not yet. I know you have to work out.
Yeah, I don't want to get too crazy.
Get it to come up to a boil, and then I'll turn it down and prop the lid up a little bit, and all of the beer fumes will go out, but the really rich flavor will stay in.
So here it is bubbling with the beer in it, and it just gives it some more liquid, but it'll cook down and it won't be so liquidy, and the beer smell and taste will go away, but it'll just give it a richness that it wouldn't have had otherwise. It'll probably take about 10 minutes for it to all bubble down, and I'll leave the lid a little bit off so the steam and the smell comes out. And this is after it's been bubbling down for like 10 minutes. So you can see it's not so liquidy. It's just the perfect consistency. It looks amazing. I can't wait to try it. I did put some cheese, avocado, and sour cream on mine, and it was pretty dang good. Keith didn't get any avocado because I forgot to tell him it was in there. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.